It would be. It's much better than the singing the rookies just gave me in practice today, and my ears are still hurting from hearing those guys try to sing, but it'd be a great present.
What do you think it's going to take tomorrow?
Just the intensity, meeting their physicality for 48 minutes. I thought we did it in periods the other night, but not long enough. And that's been our emphasis the last couple of days, just the physicality, pace of play, speed of transition, all of everything, but doing with a playoff style, pace, and intensity.
Can you simulate that in the practice?
Well, we tried to. It's hard to do, but guys know. You can look at the film and just know exactly what we did and didn't do. And it doesn't take a rocket science, if you know anything about basketball, to look at the film and understand the areas that we did not accomplish.
When you look at the film, what were your biggest concerns?
Well, transition defense, that's one. And again, just the pace of play, the speed of play, the speed of our cuts, everything just wasn't to the level that it needed to be, for a long period of time. We had it in certain periods. I think we had a 7-point lead, and even then we weren't doing things at the pace and the level that was going to be sustainable. And that was our biggest problem. Transition defense, they had 28 points in transition, way too many. We were one of the top transition teams in the regular season, and that's got to transfer over. That's one thing you can't control, is turning and sprinting back the first 3 steps.
Any theory as to why this team seems to bounce back so well?
Well, again, this year's game 2 hasn't happened yet. In the past, this has been a resilient team. For whatever reason, we're better with our backs against the wall. I think we all are. And but again, we still have to come out and do it tomorrow night. And again, they're a good team. Nobody gives. You look at I said this before. Eastern Conference is a very balanced conference. Chicago walks into Boston yesterday and beats Boston. So nobody in the Eastern Conference has a cakewalk. Indiana has an opportunity to beat the Cleveland. So nobody should be surprised or shocked. Surprised. We don't want to get beat, but nobody should be shocked that there's such balance in the Eastern Conference.
Wayne, can you talk about that resilience? You guys had more double-digit comebacks than anybody else. Number one fourth quarter. Is there something to be said for why or how this team seems to play when the proverbial back is against?
That's our biggest mystery, Eric. And again, I've always said it's a hard way to live. I like it because it means we do have fight. But let's start that fight in the first quarter. That's been we've been preaching that now for a while, to start the first quarter. We've had it in stretches, but we've kind of lived by being behind and getting down and fighting back. And it's taxing. It's hard on your body. But we've had success doing it, and it's not a great way to live, to always be fighting back, scratching back, and coming back.
Have you ever diagnosed specific issues in the first 6 minutes of games, or have you ever just said what specifically is going wrong in those?
John, we've done everything. I mean, we've looked at it. We've looked at the numbers, statistics, rotations, matchups, the groups that were in there, and there's no consistent statistic or number or group or whatever. It's just kind of been our DNA. We've had different people in the starting lineups, and that hasn't changed very much. So I think it's our DNA. Slow starts and hard finishes. I remember in Dallas we had Josh Howard was one of our top first quarter guys because Dirk was such a slow starter. It's just some guys takes a little longer to get their bones going and bodies moving. So I think that's our DNA. Unfortunately, it's fortunate and unfortunate. It's fortunate we do have the fight and the grit and the grind to fight back, but sometimes it jumps up and bites you in the behind when you don't get all the way back.
The common thread in that unit, I guess, would be Kyle and DeMar. Is that something that can be in a player?
It could be. Again, we've looked at everything, Josh, and, different players. Kyle was out 21 games. DeMar was out how many games? We still had the problem. So So you can't put it on one specific player or one specific group. It's something that has been our trait, and unfortunately.
Coach, you talked a little yesterday about the illegal screens, and Coach Kidd said that, hey, everybody's looking for an edge. Maybe you saw what he saw.
I didn't.
Heard
Yeah.
what he said. But, and of course, we know Delhi can get into the minds of other teams. How effective is he? And were you referring specifically?
Well, he's not in our minds. I mean, I didn't go to bed last night worried about Deladova. No, not at all. I was worried about the Milwaukee Bucks. Not him. But he did set 18 screens, and we did talk about them and looked at them, and a lot of them weren't legal. And but again, hats off to him. Hats off to him. Credit him. Now we've got to make sure we counter that and make the officials make a decision. So because the officials were saying that we're not hitting them or running into them or whatever. So we've got to make sure we have a confrontation and make the official, because he's one of the great screen setters in the league, just like John Stockton was. So it's no disrespect by saying that. It's a respect factor for Deladova that he does set hellacious screens.
And you're saying the officials are saying you have to hit the screen.
Oh yeah, they feel like they're legal, but you look at them in slow time, and believe me, they're moving, they're grabbing, they're holding. But again, that's his MO. He's set a precedent with it, and they're not calling it. So now we got to make sure that we set screens the same way. And now we show the officials those videos. So again, it's a credit to him that he sets screens that way and gets away with it, and it helps them execute what they want to do.
And is it a little unique because then that guy Giannis coming off that's a hard thing to defend?
Very unique.
Coach, no excuses, but are players more healthy now?
Yeah, Serge's ankle when Giannis went under him and he stepped on his foot, turned it. The league said that was a foul, and he turned his ankle. He didn't go today, so he's been out. So, he should be ready to go tomorrow night.